Namaste guys, ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this Friday evening here in Denver, Colorado. I think, if I'm correct, it is about Trey, Namaste. Where's your profile picture? Elizabeth, Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think it's after 6, right? 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time here in Denver, Colorado. I completely forgot. I've been doing healings this evening, just finished up, and I thought I'd jump on and share a really interesting topic with you guys that I think all of us experience throughout the year at different times of the year, but we kind of like all, take our vacations at the same time. But yeah, Namaste. And this, the idea for tonight's topic was given to me indirectly by one of the senior pranic healing practitioners, where I jumped online onto Zoom and I was attending one of his lectures and meditations because, as Grandmaster Choa Koksui would say, the teacher, I love my bunnies. The teacher is a perpetual student. The teacher is a perpetual student. So there's no stopping point. There's no like, okay, I've learned all that I can. I know all that I can. I have infinite wisdom. No more studying. No more reading books. No more attending lectures. No more getting guidance or counseling or mentoring from anybody else, right? It doesn't happen. The best of the best in the world are still studying, still growing, still evolving. In fact, some of the best practitioners in any field in the world are dedicated to never-ending improvement. I mean, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, up into the last year of his life, was always going from bookstore to bookstore and having the senior practitioners with them, Marissa, Namaste, carrying all the books from place to place to place that they would pick up at a Barnes & Nobles or used bookstore or whatever, because the teacher was always studying. Even though he might read a 200-page book and only find one sentence that made reading that book worth it and says, okay, this one sentence, this is the gem, this is the nugget, this is the gold. Everything else, you can kind of throw it out. But always learning, always learning, always learning. Even Anthony Robbins, right? Super successful motivational speaker, super successful business strategist. He says, look, if you attend a weekend seminar covering the material that you've heard over and over and over again, but you get that one nugget for that entire weekend that can change your life, how much is that worth? Was it worth reviewing? Was it worth going back? I mean, I've reviewed many pranic healing workshops multiple times over the past 15 years. Basic, advanced, psychotherapy, Kriya Shakti, higher clairvoyance, or Hatha yoga, and it gets deeper and richer every time I review. So, that being said, I, a 15-year practitioner, right, a senior practitioner, Jenny Namaste, was logging in to learn from an even more senior practitioner because I always want to learn, I always want to become better. Daryl Namaste. And so this topic was quite fascinating to me. That he said, have you noticed that when you go on vacation, you have either no change in your stress level when you come back from your vacation, or you're more worn out and more exhausted than before? So why aren't vacations good sources for reducing stress, removing stress, having more inner peace, happiness, and joy? And the energetic perspective on it was quite fascinating. So I'd like to share that with you guys if you're open and receptive to it. Okay? So when we interact with our days, our weeks, our months, our quarters, our years, right, we are accumulating stress, right? And the stress energy gets typically absorbed and generated, kind of both, within the solar plexus chakra. So we have our heart chakra, which is in between the nipples and the center of the chest, and then right below that point, at the soft spot in the breastbone, you have the solar plexus chakra. That's the insertion point of this energy center. Now, this energy center deals with a tremendous amount of energy from the upper chakras down and from the lower chakras up. It's like a junction point, right? So it has positive lower aspects and it has negative lower aspects. So the positive lower aspects of the solar plexus chakra are ambition, drive, perseverance, pushing to get yourself over the finish line. That's the ninja power of the solar plexus, right? So whenever you quit, whenever you give up, it's lack of solar plexus energy, right? Now, the lower negative aspect of the solar plexus chakra is anxiety, fear, worry to a degree, and stress. Avani, Atma Namaste. It holds on a tremendous amount of stress. It's dealing with stress all day long. So when you're at work and you're interacting and making things happen and grinding it out and hustling and maybe even having conflict and chaos with your coworkers, with your boss, with your employees, the solar plexus chakra is getting stuffed with stress. It's getting stuffed with stress from Monday through Friday, from 1 month to the next month, from one quarter to the next quarter. Now, here's the thing. Most people that have 9-to-5 jobs get 2 to 3 weeks off per year to do what? To go on vacation, right? And the mindset is, cool, I build up all this stress all year long. I'm going to go on a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week vacation, and I'm going to melt away my stress, and I'm going to come back to my job being completely renewed. This is why this isn't always the case, energetically speaking. Because think about it. You build up all the stress in your solar plexus. You're not doing anything to rotor root it out of your solar plexus. You're not doing anything to take that stress out. Exercise is an excellent way, by the way, to get rid of stress. That's how most people deal with stress, is through exercise. But there are far more effective, far more powerful ways to deal with stress than just exercise. Stay with me. So, you hear your vacation's coming up, and you're able to cram in all this productivity right before you go on your vacation. You ever notice that? Like 2 to 3 days before your vacation, you're like the most productive human being on the planet. You know, you're able to, Seth, Namaste, you're able to accomplish great things right before you go on vacation because you're focused, you aren't letting yourself get distracted, and you're putting the first things first, right? So we're actually super productive and efficient and effective right before we go on vacation. So now we're on vacation. So we've built up more stress getting ready for vacation. Most of the time we're getting on a plane and going somewhere. So it's the stress of traveling, right? So we're picking up stress, going to the airport, being at the airport, flying from point A to point B, getting into our hotel room. So there's all these other factors that are adding to our stress, right? Then it's the stress of, okay, now that I'm at this place for my vacation, what am I going to do, right? Which restaurants do I want to check out? Which sites and vistas and entertainment do I want to check out? And typically, I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, but in general, when people go on vacation, they have a tendency to do more of what? Partying, drinking, and staying up late. So the interesting thing is, now this is a generality. I'm not talking this is related to each and every human being on the planet. But in general, alcohol, one shot of top shelf sake or top shelf vodka has a cleansing effect on your aura. It has a cleansing effect on your aura, meaning you drink it and it has a quality that it pushes out congested energy out of the aura, right? So you can feel lighter, you can feel happier, you can feel more blissful, right? But if somebody has a tendency towards alcoholism, that does not apply to them because there's a genetic predisposition for them to not just have one shot, but many, many, many shots until they black out, right? My father was an example of that, which he left his body 6 years ago, and he wouldn't be shy with me sharing that with anybody. So, having alcohol, one shot of top shelf vodka or sake has a cleansing effect, but typically when we go on vacation and we go to a bar, what are we typically doing? Not one shot, but multiple shots. So then it starts to have the adverse effect, which is dirtying the solar plexus chakra, right? And then dirtying the entire aura. So what does that mean? That means you need more time to detox the additional stress that you put into your body. What's another tendency that we happen to do when we're on vacation? Do we go to bed early when we're on vacation and rest our physical, emotional, mental bodies? Or do we have a tendency to stay up much, much later during our vacation time? We have a tendency to stay up much, much later, right? Right? So we're staying out late, partying with friends, checking out the sights, the scenes. We're trying to get everything we can out of the experience of this vacation, this hotel, this city, this resort, whatever it is, right? So we're contaminating our energy body, and we're not resting our energy body, so we're further depleting our energy body. So these things aren't adding up to de-stressing. And then lastly, from what we know about energy healing and energy medicine and pranic healing, the congestion in the solar plexus chakra that we've built up over the past 3 months or 6 months or year of working and being industrious and making things happen, that energy has gone deep into the solar plexus chakra. So how does that congested stress energy come out? Just by going on vacation and sitting in a rocking chair, sitting by the beach, sitting in where I am in Denver, sitting at a log cabin and looking over the vista of the mountains, that is not enough to deeply remove the stress energy from your solar plexus chakra. Fascinating, right? So that's why vacations in and of themselves are not very good for stress reduction or renewing, regenerating, and revitalizing your whole system. Now, the interesting thing is I take vacations pretty regularly. Actually, last year, 2019, I was lucky enough to take 39 days of meditation, healing, and yoga retreats. 39 days. Now, the difference between me going on vacation and, say, most people going on vacation is the vacations I take are specifically designed to cleanse my aura, to cleanse my meridians or energy channels, and to deeply and profoundly cleanse my chakras. So at the end of my weekend event, week-long event, or 21-day event, I'm deeply cleansed. I'm rejuvenated, I'm regenerated, I'm revitalized, so then I can go back to work, which is energy healing and teaching meditation, and be renewed and share those beautiful golden sparkling energies with my clients and my loved ones. Make sense? Because here's the thing, as an energy healer, people are paying me for what? They're paying me for energy. They're paying me for the experience of like, wow, I want to feel good. I want to feel cool, calm, and collected. I want to have a razor sharp mind. I want to be more spiritually connected to my higher self. Well, if I'm depleted and exhausted and stressed out all the time, how effective am I going to be in my job providing those energies and that service for other people? Not very effective, right? So I just thought that was a fascinating topic that the senior pranic healing instructor brought up in that class about going on vacation, having the expectation of, well, I'm going on vacation to get rid of stress, but in actuality, and in most cases, we're generating more stress, we're deteriorating our energy body even more when we're on vacation. So then when we come back home from wherever we vacationed, we went scuba diving, we went snorkeling, we went whatever, mountain climbing, all these different things, we come back more exhausted than ever before, as opposed to deeply and profoundly cleansing our energy bodies. So what are some things that you can do to get the most benefit out of going on vacation? Because look, I'm all about vacations, but if the intention, if your thought process is, I'm going on vacation to revitalize, rejuvenate, and regenerate my energy so I feel amazing, then a different strategy will have to be implemented versus I'm going on vacation and I'm going to be completely reckless. I'm going to go ham. I'm just going to lose it because I need to burn off the stress from the past 6 months of working. But it's funny because that strategy does not work in general. So Jimenez says vacations is an illusion, detraction of reality. Do not make important decisions during vacation. Spend the necessary, and do not exceed. That's one way of looking at it, right? So you have a budget and you don't go over that budget. So this is how you can take the most out of your vacations. Number one, when you're on vacation, now again, don't shoot the messenger, right? I'm not your dad, I'm not your mom, I'm not your boss, I'm not here to tell you how to live. I'm here to give you a different viewpoint that might help explain certain things and help you get more value out of the things that you're currently doing. Ted, Atma Namaste, good to have you on as always. So, next time you go on vacation, get some physical exercise in every day. Get some physical exercise in every day, because doing physical exercise, whether it's running, biking, yoga, mountain climbing, hiking, swimming, whatever it is that moves your physical body, that is partially, the key word what? Partially releasing disease congested energy from your energy body. So physical activity every single day. Number two, spending enough time waking up early and going to bed early. So recycling your biorhythms and regenerating your energy body. Because if you are depleted energetically before you go on vacation, and then you stay up super late punishing your body, and then you crash in the middle of the night, that's not rejuvenating you. That's not replenishing you, right? So going to bed early, waking up early, that would be something else. Another thing is get some massages. Get a massage. Get a massage. Super, super good for the physical body. Super good for the lymphatic system, right? Get some energy healing. Hire somebody like me or somebody, in your area to get energy healing so they can deeply go inside and extract the disease, congested stress energy from not only your solar plexus chakra, but from other chakras. So get energy healing. Number 4, you can do meditation. The meditation I would recommend would be the Twin Hearts meditation. You can find it online. You can either pay for it or you can get free, shorter versions of it. Totally worth it. I've been practicing it regularly for 15 years. The Twin Hearts meditation by Grandmaster Choa Koksui. Okay? So you can do that. That is a way to deeply, profoundly cleanse and purify your aura, cleanse and purify your meridians, and cleanse and purify your chakras. Because what's the purpose of going on vacation? That we would hope, rejuvenate, regenerate, and revitalize your entire energy body, right? Which affects every other area of our life. Our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health. What's something else? Juicing. I'm not talking about juicing all the time. I'm not saying juicing only or juicing 3 times a day, but one big, fat, nutritious juice sometime throughout the day while you're on vacation is also a great way of revitalizing your system, right? So juicing would be another thing. Also, something else that's not necessarily about releasing congestion within your system while on vacation, but it's more about transmuting and transforming the disease, congested stress energies within your system, is in the morning and in the evening, you can practice gratitude. You whip out a journal, you grab a pen, and you just write out 10 things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for this, 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 and this, and this. You look at it, you feel amazing, and then you put it off to the side, and then before you go to bed that day, 10 more things that you're grateful for. It could be the 10 things you wrote in the morning, and you're reviewing them, or you can write 10 new things about the vacation spot that you're on. I'm so grateful for this hotel. I'm so grateful for all the helpful people. I'm so grateful for the attractions we've been to. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do nothing and just rest, right? I'm so grateful for whatever. That alone, practicing gratitude with the heart involved, will help transmute and transform those lower, heavy, stressful energies. Have you noticed stress is heavy? Anxiety is heavy? Fear is heavy? Energetically, when you have fear, you just feel heavy. When you're depressed, you feel heavy. But when you're practicing gratitude, how do you feel? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more buoyant? Do you feel more blissful? Do you feel more enthusiastic about life? Do you have a more positive outlook, right? So it's super, super powerful practicing gratitude. So those are just a few very simple but very profound, effective things you can do while you're on vacation versus, Avani says, yes, versus how the majority of the world's populace, mostly Westerners, take a vacation. They build up stress all year long. They go on a hurried 1 or 2 week vacation where they punish their bodies with crappy food, crappy drinks. They stay up super late, and then they come back from their vacation more exhausted, worn out, burned out, tired than they did before they went on the vacation. Now again, is this me raining on your parade? Absolutely not. This is only for the people that want to have a different viewpoint connected to vacations. Because some of you may go, hey Christian, I got a vacation coming up in the next week and I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to stay up super late. I'm going to make this happen, that happen. I'm going to drink as much as I can. I'm going to eat as much as I can. I'm going to do as much as I can. And I don't care about rejuvenating, regenerating, or revitalizing my system. And that's cool. Again, I'm talking to the people who are looking to change their viewpoint and go, I never looked at vacations like that before. Okay. And that's why I don't feel so de-stressed after coming back from a vacation. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Next vacation I take, I'm going to either take it in a retreat setting that it's built in to nurture and nourish and revitalize my system, or I'll just choose a favorite place to go to and I'll take it easy. So again, food for thought. All of us are adults. We're big girls and big boys on here. We can do whatever we want. We have free will, right? So I'm just a gentle reminder for those people who want a higher quality of life. Because again, the 39 days that I took for vacations last year, 2019, transformed my life in ways that I couldn't have even imagined. And I'm super grateful for them. And every one of them, I came back rejuvenated, regenerated, revitalized, not depleted, not exhausted, not burned out, taking a vacation. So Amanda says, Mia and Lisa, oh, that's right. You guys are friends. I totally forgot that. Alanis took palmitos and lettuce, I swear. Yeah, and meditate in front of the sea. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, meditating in front of the sea. Going to the ocean, you get 3 excellent pranas. When you go to the ocean, you get solar prana, sun, energy. You get air prana, that's super bright, and lots of vitality from the air. And then you also get ground prana from the ground, fresh energy from the ground. And then you have the cleansing effect of the salt water, right? 75-ish% of the Earth's surface is covered in salt water. That salt water has a cleansing effect, not just on the Earth itself, but on us, and we're connected to Mother Earth, on us as well. So going to the ocean and swimming around for 20 minutes has a profound cleansing effect on your energy body. Avani says, let me plan a detox vacation, energy detox vacation. Thank you for the wisdom and new viewpoint regarding vacations. Good. And that's how I've been for at least 10 years. I can't quite remember taking a vacation, a typical vacation. My vacations are part of my purpose, and my vacations are part of my profession, right? So it's like I can't remember the last time I got on a plane and went to a bed and breakfast and that was it, and I just walked around the town. I can't remember doing that. My vacations are, I'm going to a retreat, a meditation retreat, a healing retreat, a yoga retreat. That's all that I've been doing for at least the past 10 years. It would take me a while to actually think of a time I went to something that wasn't an event. But for those of you who've been following the stream for the past few months, I did go with a friend to the Bhakti Fest in 29 Palms, California, which I thought it would be a fun, rejuvenating, interesting experience. But to be honest, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had on a quote-unquote vacation. So many problems, so many challenges, so many difficulties, and so many unexpected things. You would think Bhakti Fest. Okay, Bhakti means love and devotion. Fest is like festival. So you bring this together and you go, okay, so this is going to be a festival for love, a festival for devotion. Okay, I can see this. This is going to be pretty sweet. And the people I'm going to meet are going to be very heart-centered and very devotional and very loving people. And then the vendors, Sean, I'm going to namaste. And then the vendors, Denise, I'm going to namaste. Then the vendors that I connect with, Denise. Then the vendors, loving and devotional. And then the presenters, loving and devotional. And then the performers, the musical performers, loving and devotional. This is going to be amazing. Bhakti Fest, it's a festival of love and devotion. What could possibly go wrong? Whew! It was intense. It was a 4-day event that I was at this vacation. And there were some gems. Don't get me wrong. There were some gems. There were some nuggets that there were some nuggets that I was extremely grateful for, that I'm like, whoa, this is a big deal. Hannah, I'm a namaste. This is a big deal. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. But what did we talk about at the beginning of the stream? Just like Master Choa Koksui says, the teacher is a perpetual student. Anthony Robbins saying, if you just get one nugget out of a weekend event, it's worth it. So I got maybe 2 nuggets, 3 maximum nuggets out of this weekend or 4-day event. But everything else about this event was not good. It was ridiculous. I'd heard, and this is me putting down Bhakti Fest a little bit, I get it. I've heard of Bhakti Fest on and off for like 7 or 8 years. And I'm like, Bhakti Fest. I know who not personally, but I know who runs Bhakti Fest. I have a high respect for this person who's always at Bhakti Fest. I was like, this is going to be amazing. Chanting, lectures, yoga, vegetarian and vegan food. It's going to be amazing, right? My preconceived ideas about Bhakti Fest. And then going this year was like, or last year, 2019, it was so bad, I couldn't believe it. And so I, always looking to understand, right? Always looking to extrapolate some lesson or lessons from an experience, I went to talk with one of my mentors. We do a lot of healing together. We do a lot of meditation practices together. Fernando, namaste. We do a lot of things together. And so I was like, okay, I went to Bhakti Fest. These were my expectations. These are the things that happened. What happened? Where's the disconnect? And we basically broke it down. And it was fascinating. I was like, aha, that's why my body was burning for 4 days. Aha, that's why I was irritated for 4 days. Aha, interesting, fascinating. So that was my attempt at a vacation in the typical sense of vacation, and it was not pleasant at all. Hannah says, I haven't watched this, but please, I need Robin to take a break. Have him watch this. Have Robin watch this. His perception about vacations will permanently change. Guarantee it. Amanda says, yeah, let Robin and Hannah take a break, you killjoy. With what Robin has been learning, he's able to go all out for a part of the day and then rejuvenate, regenerate, and revitalize within an hour and a half. Right? That's what our training was about. Attaboy, Robin. Get on here. So, anyways, that's my soapbox for this evening, that if you're going to go on vacation, have accurate perception and correct expression of that vacation, have realistic expectations, and determine, go, all right, do I want to have a vacation where I rejuvenate, regenerate, and revitalize my entire system? And if that's the case, how can I design that? And we gave you the tips in the beginning. The 7 things, Vanessa, I'm going to say, the 7 things that you can do while on vacation to rejuvenate, regenerate, and revitalize your system. Or you can say, you know what, Christian? This is my 1 week per year that I get to go crazy, that I get to cut loose. I don't care about rejuvenating, regenerating, or revitalizing anything. I just want to go ham. Right? Then that's fine. Then that's your expectation. So you don't have the expectation of, I'm going on vacation to rest and I'm going to come back hitting it hard. It's not going to happen. You're going to stress yourself out more from that kind of vacation coming back to the real world. Again, no judgment. It's very interesting. I'm kind of going on a little side tangent, if you will. But this took me a long, long time to really grasp. So there's a tendency that our personality and ego wants to protect itself, right? It wants to protect what's its, because everything with the ego and the personality is about me, myself, and I, right? So if we meet with a guide, a coach, a mentor, a healer, and that person sees the situation clearer and more objectively than we do, and they say, okay, don't do this, but do this. There's a tendency for us to become what? Defensive. Well, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know where I came from. You don't know blah, 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 right? So it's fighting. It's this abrasiveness. And the interesting thing is that negative pride that keeps you stuck is the very thing that you need to let go of in order to take your spiritual, personal, and professional growth to the next level. Meaning, you have to reach a point in your life that somebody can give you honest feedback, honest critiquing, without you taking it personally. I remember many years ago, a friend of mine who I worked for, who was a pranic healer and Hatha yogi, he owned a sign company. And I made a mistake in the designing of something, because we were designing signs, right, on the computer, and then we would make them in the warehouse. And I made a mistake in the designing of the sign. That mistake cost my friend $2,500. Now, it's a small business. $2,500 is $2,500, right? There's payroll to make, there's expenses, there's overhead, there's the whole deal, right? So he was justifiably upset. So he went on to berate me mercilessly for about 15 minutes. And when I say mercilessly, he went at it. Bam, 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 swearing, screaming, spitting, yelling, the whole deal. And I didn't say anything. I just shut my big fat mouth and I was practicing active listening. This is before I even knew what active listening was. I was just like, wow, he's really upset. I better just shut my mouth and listen. So he's talking, screaming, swearing. And then everything calmed down. Everything became still. He let go of his stress. He saw that I got the point. I realized I'd made a mistake. I wouldn't make the same mistake again, and we can both move forward in the right direction. And he said something to me. He goes, you know what? One of your greatest abilities and greatest skills, he said this to me maybe 11 years ago. He says, it's your ability to take feedback without taking it personally, right? Because he was saying things that were hurtful to my personality, but I was going a little bit higher and going, you know what? He's just upset right now, but there's something I can listen to. There's something I can extract. So I'm not saying my whole life I've been that way. But there was a big shift for me working with a couple of my mentors, people who mentor me and people who heal me, and they were giving me really tough feedback. And they recognized, and I recognized, I wasn't reacting. I wasn't being defensive. I wasn't saying, well, you don't understand. Or why are you attacking me? Or blah, blah, blah. Taking it personally. I was going, you're absolutely correct. So when you can take feedback without attaching your personality, your ego, your story to it, you're able to transform like that versus fighting the person, arguing your point, digging your heels in, right? Because what's the tendency to do? If you're wrong and the other person knows you're wrong and you know you're wrong, what's the tendency? You dig in your heels and you go, I don't care. I'm going to stay wrong. Rather than going, you know what, you're right. I let go of that old viewpoint. I let go of that old way of being, and I will embrace the new viewpoint. Right? So the faster you can do that, the faster you can transform. That's a big reason why people don't transform, is because they'll hire a coach, they'll hire a mentor. So deep, Abba Namaste. They'll hire a healer, right? And the coach, the mentor, the healer will say, okay, don't do this and do this. And then the person goes, well, I don't know about that. Well, can we do it differently? Well, so there's resistance. So it's like, wait a minute. Didn't you hire me to help you overcome this resistance? Are you fighting me or what? Right? So the sooner we can recognize, wait a minute, it's not about my ego. It's not about my personality. It's about this person has a track record of success. This person can help me get to where I want to go. The reason I'm not where I want to be is because of some limiting belief, some calcified idea, some negative program, some old way of being keeping me stuck. So in order for me to go to the next level, guess what? I'm going to have to let go of the old way of being. And that's very difficult for a lot of people. That's where a lot of healing in my world takes place. Healing the old patterns that people have, myself included. So Jimenez says, she's getting all worked up. Come on, we all go off routine on vacations. It is sane and healthy also. I love to enjoy live food company and party. Alcohol is off record for me. We are normal human beings then, as Pranica, go to retreats or reload. Retreats are not vacations. Yeah, it's actually funny she says this. So for her, alcohol is off the record, right? Alcohol, for whatever reason, right? That's her stance, her position. But then somebody would say, come on, Amanda, relax. Have a couple of drinks with us. So do you see how it's relative to the individual, right? And she makes a good point. So there's a joke. So every year in Bovina, New York, there's what is known as a spiritual vacation with two of the masters in New York. And there's a 9-day spiritual vacation, which then gets extended to a 21-day spiritual vacation for those hardcore people that want to take their spiritual growth and development to the next level, right? And it's really fascinating because you feel sometimes when you're on the spiritual vacation like it's like a boot camp. It's like, all right, we're done with our exercises. Now we're going to do our breathing. We're done with our breathing. Now we're going to do our meditations. We're done with our meditations. Now we're going to do more exercises. We're done with our exercises. Now we're going to do a lecture. We're done with our lecture. Now we're going to do, right? So one of the jokes from one of the masters is when he senses the group is like, can we just take a break? Can we just take a break? Do we have to go to the next meditation immediately? Do we have to go to the next breathing technique immediately? Do we have to go to the next lecture immediately? He says, what do you think this is? A vacation? Because the title of the event is Spiritual Vacation. What do you think this is? A vacation. So I'm making a joke. That is not the tempo for the entire retreat, the 9-day or the 21-day. There's plenty of time to relax. There's plenty of time to socialize. There's plenty of time to reflect. But there is a general outline of, okay, in the morning at this time we do this, then we do this, then we do this, then we do this, then we have a break, then we have lunch, then we do this, then we do this, then we have dinner, then we do this. So there's a general outline, but it's not like you're like this. But if you want to get the most out of your experience, out of your time at the spiritual vacation, you know, you're going to stay in class most of the time rather than being off in the kitchen eating, not that I'm guilty of that, or outside talking to somebody, not that I'm guilty of that, or walking around into the woods when there's a lecture going on, not that I'm guilty of that, right? But in general, you want to spend as much time in class doing the exercises, doing the breathing, doing the meditations, listening to the lectures, doing the journaling and the self-study and developing greater self-awareness and self-understanding. So you get my point. This body doesn't go well with alcohol. Yeah, some people, it doesn't work for them. I come from a family that alcohol just doesn't work for the majority of the people in my family. I've never had a problem with alcohol. I can drink it. Moderation. My spiritual practice doesn't really... alcohol and my spiritual practice, they don't go really well together at this point. But I've never had a problem with alcohol. But many, many people in my family have had severe problems with alcohol. It just is what it is, right? It's karma, it's genetics, it's lifestyle, it's lack of other techniques to reduce stress, because people drink to reduce stress, or they drink to numb themselves to physical and emotional pain. So if they haven't been introduced to meditation or energy healing or some kinds of therapy or certain kinds of exercise, then they go with what's most readily available and most commonplace for most people, which is drinking, going to the bars after work, spending time with friends on the weekend, drinking, etc. It is what it is, right? And I appreciate and hear every single word you were saying to build up myself. Exactly, that's my family's background. No problem with alcohol. Right on. That's pretty cool. I don't know too many families that don't have, like, no one has a problem with alcohol in the family, so that's pretty impressive. I come from an Irish family, French-Irish, lots of problems with alcohol. Like, most of the men in my family, problems with alcohol. You know what I've realized, thinking about that, there's almost no women in my family, on my mom's side or on my dad's side, that has problems with alcohol. But many of the men do. Nah, I mean me. Oh, okay. So you have no problem with alcohol, but family members have problems with alcohol, right? If I get that correctly. So, that being said, that's my little tip, nugget, strategy, suggestion, whatever you guys want to call it for this evening, on how to look at vacations differently than you might have before. For those of you who are looking for healing, that's my area of expertise. There's been all these weird noises in my apartment complex today. There was a noise so loud in my building, so loud it moved my bed. Do you guys hear what I just said? There was a noise so loud in my apartment complex that moved my bed. I don't even know where it came from. My dad has a severe problem too. Got it. Yeah, it's a tendency. It's it's interesting. The energy of alcohol is very, very interesting. So, if you would like healing, go to my website, ChristianRLong.com. It's my name, ChristianRLong.com. Sign up for a distant healing session. We have 5 days left to take advantage of the great energy for a great 2020. I highly recommend picking that up. For those people who are looking to take advantage of that, it is more healing in a 3-month period than you've probably ever gotten in your life. And it will transform not just your 2020, but it will transform the rest of your life. Guarantee it. No doubt. Period. No doubt whatsoever. And for people that want to make payment plans, we can also talk about payment plans for that program. Sounds earthquake. Yeah, I guess it had to have been an earthquake. Maybe it was something coming from Puerto Rico and hitting Denver, thousands of miles away. I have no idea. But it was pretty loud. Yeah. Sound so loud it moved my bed. I literally thought for just a tiny split second that part of my building was falling. It was that loud and that like shaky. Really weird. There's no earthquakes in Denver. It's pretty much impossible. Now, California, that's a different story. So that being said, thank you guys for sharing your time, your energy, your comments, your questions. It adds value. Every time you ask a question, we're able to talk about it, and that adds more dynamics, more richness, more depth to the interaction that other people can get benefits from. So thank you very much. And also your comments adds value and context and richness to the live streams that we do. So thank you very much. And that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing evening. I'm just going to stay here. I might walk across the street, get something sweet, not a bottle of vodka, but something sweet, candy bar, something like that, treat myself. Had a very consistent week of working out. I feel super good. You got to take care of the physical body. I learned that from Master Choa and from Master Ko and Master Glenn now. You got to take care of your physical body. Super important. If you want to go higher in your spiritual practice, the foundation is a strong, healthy physical body. As you go higher in your spiritual practice, the limiting factor will be your physical body. If your physical body is frail, if it's weak, if it's sick, if it's malnourished, if it's not strong, if it doesn't have good stamina, your ability to go higher and higher and higher in your spiritual practice will be greatly limited. So you got to take care of your physical body. The longer you're in your physical body, the more time you have to evolve. But if you die prematurely because of high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, what have you, because you didn't take care of your physical body, then you can't evolve. You can't serve as much. You can't help as much. You can't heal as much. You can't develop your character as much if you're not in your physical body. Make sense? Have fun. Thank you. Bye. Atmas. Bye, Jimena. Love you, girl. All right, guys. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful day or evening, a beautiful week or weekend, and a beautiful life. Atma. Namaste. Bye-bye.